Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on applying service updates in IFS Cloud 21 R1. I'm Sadhini Tannage and I work as a software engineer in ALE team. In this brief tutorial, we will go through on what has changed from apps 10 when it comes to updates, the business value in having service updates, the Git repository structure of a cloud build place, the process of applying a service update to a customer solution, and finally I will do a short demonstration on how to apply a service update to a customer solution. What's changing from apps 10? In apps 10, we had updates released every quarter and we had patches to solve critical issues. In 21 R1, we are going to have monthly service updates containing fixes for high severity issues and biannual releases. What will not change is we will continue to use the same tool, IFS Update Analyzer, for update analysis. Interface analysis will not be required as interfaces are not expected to be changed during service updates. Therefore, Configuration Analyzer is not expected to be required when taking service updates as interface changes are not expected. The business value. With service updates, the customer gets quick access to high severity issue fixes. The process to fetch an update to a customer solution has been simplified and aids in creating fast deliveries. The Git repository structure of a cloud build place. A cloud build place will mainly consist of two repositories, the customer baseline repository and the customer solution repository. When a service update is released, it will be available in the IFS master release repository. When a customer requests for a service update, it will be first fetched from IFS master release repository onto the customer baseline repository. The customer baseline repository will contain core code released by IFS for the updates taken by the customer. Secondly, the service update will be fetched from the customer baseline repository onto the customer solution repository. The customer solution repository will contain the core code plus the customizations done for a customer. To recap, the service update will first be fetched from master release repository onto the customer baseline repository, and secondly from the customer baseline repository onto the customer solution repository. The process to apply a service update to a customer solution is twofold. The first scenario is when a customer has reported a severity 1 or 2 issue. In this instance, IFS investigates the issue and identifies if the issue is fixed in an already released service update or if the issue exists in the last released service update. If the issue is fixed in an already released service update, IFS will inform the customer on which service update the fix is available. If the issue exists in the last released service update, IFS will fix the issue and inform the customer when a new service update is available with a fix for the reported issue. The customer can then fetch the service update into the customer baseline repository. Fetching the service update from the master release repository onto the customer baseline repository can be done with a simple button click in the Lifecycle Experience portal. I will show how once we get to the demonstration. Then, using IFS Update Analyzer tool, we can analyze the impacts the new update will have on the customizations. Once the impacts are handled, the update can be applied to the customer solution repository. This is a manual step which can be easily handled using a few Git commands. And finally, we can create the delivery. In the second scenario, customer is informed of a new service update and they decide to proactively apply it. Here also, customer will fetch the service update into the customer baseline repository, analyze the impacts the new update will have on the customizations using Update Analyzer, and once the impacts are handled, the update is now ready to be applied to the customer solution repository. And finally, we create the delivery. I will now show a short demonstration on how to apply a service update onto a customer solution. As we now know, the first step is to get the update from master release repository onto the customer baseline repository. Once inside a build place, we get to see the current update of the baseline repository and the solution repository near the repository URLs. We can click on the button Service Update to go to the form to select the update to be applied. This drop-down will list the service updates that have been made available in the master release repository. We can select the update and click on Apply to fetch the service update into the baseline repository. The label near the customer baseline repository URL will be changed to pending until the operation completes. Once it is completed, the new version will be read from the repository and updated in the portal. After the customer baseline repository has been updated with the service update, the Update Analyzer tool can be used to analyze the impacts that will be raised when fetching the update to the customer solution, which contain the customizations. I'll be using a test build place in which the service update has already been applied to the baseline repository for the next couple of steps. By clicking on this JIT icon, we can open the dialog to enter JIT repository details. Enter the customer baseline repository URL and click on Get Tags to retrieve the updates available in the repository. Base and target UPT dropdowns will be populated with tag names in the customer baseline repository. Select the appropriate base and target tags from the dropdowns. Base UPT refers to the current update of the customer solution, and the target UPT refers to the update to be moved onto. Next, we enter the customer solution repository URL and an empty folder to check out files for analyzing impacts. Then path to JIT exe file should be filled in here, but as you see, it will be automatically updated with the path if it is available in this default location. If the path is different to this, the field will be empty and we need to fill in that with the correct path. Once all the fields are filled in, click on button Checkout Files. Update Analyzer will create 3 folders inside the location given to check out the files. The base folder will contain a shallow clone of the base UPT tag, and the target folder will contain a shallow clone of the target UPT tag. The cust folder will contain a shallow clone of customer solution repository master branch. It will take some time to finish cloning the files from the 3 repositories. So for the demonstration, I have another window of Update Analyzer in which this step has been completed. Once all 3 clones have been completed, click on button Proceed Analysis. Update Analyzer will then extract the customized files from cust folder and move them to a new folder called Extracted Cust. A list of file names extracted as customized files could be found in file customizedfiles.txt inside the checkout location. Paths to base folder, target folder, and extracted cust folder will be populated into the Update Analyzer main window at the end of extract operation. Customizedfiles.txt file I mentioned earlier can be found inside the checkout location. Next, we perform update analysis. A component structure analysis will be performed with the given input fields. This brings us to the final step, which is to apply the service update to the customer solution repository. Open a Git bash window for this step. The first step here is to clone the customer solution repository. For this, we use the command git clone customer solution repository URL. This will take some time to complete, so I will use the Git bash window in which the cloning has been completed. Then we change the directory to the cloned folder. For this, we use the command cd customer solution. The third step is to add an upstream to the customer solution repository pointing to the customer baseline repository. The command for that is git remote add upstream customer baseline repository URL. The fourth step is to create and check out a topic branch based on master branch using the command git checkout-b and a branch name. As the fifth step, we pull from upstream, that is, from the customer baseline repository master branch. For this, we use the command git pull upstream master. Then we fix the merge conflicts if there are any. As the next step, we can carry out the required changes identified by Update Analyzer Run. This is when we will do the necessary changes to handle the impacts from the new service update. Once that is done, we need to commit our changes into the remote repository. The commands that could be used for this step are git add dot, which stages all the files in the current directory, git commit -m and a meaningful commit message, and then git push origin branch name. And finally, we create the pull request and merge to the customer solution repository master branch. For this, we will go to the DevOps project and create a pull request. A reviewer will need to approve the pull request, and if all goes well, the service update will be in the customer solution repository. That brings us to the end of the tutorial. Thank you for joining in.